to begging for mercy, and I will never stop killing you. Oh shit.
Hi, Scarlett.
It's gaming, isn't it?
Yes,
No, I said hi. I just said hi.
No! No! Gaming! 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 Deku! Revive me!
What the f-
What? What happened?
Oh, he sniped me!
Alrighty, guys. I know I'm late. I'm trying to get myself to be on early. You... Alright, there was a thing I need to check real quick. Alright, whatever. I was looking up a thing on UK for what it's worth. But to really begin, where do I, or mostly, we heavily focus a lot around here. I was thinking about going live. The thing is I was thinking about going live with your truck. I was thinking about going live with with uh that, because to be honest, I always have there's always two things that I always go through, and I was like, you know what, I'm picking this, I'm doing that or that, and sometimes I even forget that I am supposed to be live in the afternoons, or sometimes I forget that I said that I was going to be live today for 13. But we usually try to go live anywhere between 3 and 4:30, and we end about 6. So That's where we're supposed to go, but I am not going down there right now. I want to grab this cactus again. And I know this guy told me I'm supposed to do it this way, but it's like, I'm just playing this the way that I feel like it should be played, like somebody who doesn't, like, know how to play a game. Or somebody that's kind of like, you know, you think of strategy. I'm on back to doing that because I want to see if lightning can get some upgrades here. Okay. Now we'll go back over here. Mostly the only thing I use saws for is to enable haste. And then I go from there. Because usually the cactuar are the ones that give me the most CP. Most Crystarium points. So now I got an additional thing there. Our medical is what I want to work on now for you. Actually, let me check. Okay, there's only one. Okay, so Ravager now has ROG, which is good. So now we'll do Synergy. Commando should be fully there. Done. Nothing for that. Saboteur slowly getting there. Synergist. Okay. So yeah, no, I haven't really, no, why do I keep going backwards? Okay, Sentinel then. Hey. We'll go with Synergist. Yeah, so this one, so yeah, so we're gonna keep working on that, but let me go over to equipment now. Now that we do have the physical resistance, that's going to give us a magical wall. That's going to give us a 10% on magic as well. That's going to give us a strength. Shield Talisman. Yeah, that ATB advantage though. A little bit of a pearl necklace in peril for that one. So the ruined bracelet, we get him at increase of 10 for that. General's belt. Yeah, I'm trying to see if we got any other. Like, we don't need magic for you to begin with. Because I don't use you for magic, but resistance to magic is a thing that I want to do. So that increases our magic by 50. We could increase the strength. Let me go with optimize. Okay, so, but I'm going to go back with the guy Bulg, because the Bio Gold gives us improved counter. The Brawler's wristband. Is giving us more strength. I think that that's what we've got. Now the Brawler's wristband. I believe if we go over here, if we go to shop, I do have a lot of gil right now. B&M Outfitters. So we could get a second general's belt, but a black belt. We have 2 black belts and they are being equipped right now. I could go for a second black belt. But the black belt is in relation to that. Let me go. So we do have the Brawler's wristband, but we also have a Warrior's wristband. The Warrior's wristband increases strength by 100. We do have enough. I am going to buy 1 Brawler's wristband. Because the, not the Brawler's wristband, but buying the Warrior's wristband is going to definitely improve on that in general. So it's like, why not? And I think that's just gonna help us in the long run in fighting. I am going to be doing a little bit of grinding today as well, so we're not going to do just always missions. But getting 100 on that wristband for that is definitely what I want. Saz needs to get some upgrades here. But I use Saz 4 and then I switch. Now, of course, we could probably maybe even get upgrades for yeah, this is not taking as long as it used to clear out this guy. Now, since we do know that we use Lightning primarily as a Ravager and Saz as a Ravager, we might want to think about upgrading them with more magic. But I do need to heal, so let me
Time
get
for a
down here
change.
real quick.
You looking at me? Appreciate it.
Probably not the cleanest way to get this done, but to be honest, not too terrible to get it cleaned anyway. Let me go down to equipment. Right now, we do have resistance to physical, resistance to damage, for light. We do have you with water charm. Resistant damage is a 6, and resistance to elementals is 15. So we do get a little bit of resistance, but you're the only one that gets that high strength. You get a lot of magic though. And to be honest, the Provocons get us that staggered maintenance. I'm wondering, because I have the funds, I can literally restart this if I feel like I've gotten somewhere where I shouldn't be. Let me go to shop. Okay, so we have the Provocons there. Let me check up in arms real quick. I do have the Vegas already, but that's... Okay, so there is not anything better for you, and the Provocons are 30. There's nothing I can do to really upgrade him in general, and that's the only thing I got the rotor sight, which yeah, it's a transforming catalyst. Like, nothing I don't think I can use that for. Like, Terratic Crown. Yeah, I think I could just easily shop, Unicorn Mart, sell component, sell you off. I don't think there's any way that those components, that you absolutely need to have those components to begin with. Just sell them off. If you can't transforming catalyst, most of the time I would highly not even recommend it, but you do get an upgrade there. and you two do not. You do get an upgrade for you. With Myrtle Bangle and the Black Belt is what I have available. All it's adding is just a Brawler's wristbands. You are also another one that has been heavily into strength. I think I'm gonna stick with you on that. For it. Now the Paladins, of course, gives us that improved guard. If you're using this, if you're using him for that, that would be the Famark, but that's like I do have you for improved cure. The Beldono one does improve your magic though. I use you for more defense maintenance. Slightly acceleration of defense debuffs. So I don't know. To begin with, on any of this. But, whoops, wrong one. Went to go medic. Synergist here as well. Sentinel. I'm just doing it because I'm here. Oh, I missed the pain. It's okay, whatever. I'm still going after both of them anyways. We are getting close to that ATB level. Our next mission is right there, but I haven't picked it up yet. I probably should, but I haven't, because somebody told me where it was at yesterday, so I'm like, okay. Hey, preemptive strike. I don't care if Lightning and Saws don't get it, but we're going to at least try to get some of this. Like, I want to get at least everybody main stuff to increase roll for everything before we continue on. Not too bad. But we'll see where things take us from here. Our Widow's Wrath. Yeah, I'll take the mission. And I don't believe it's this way. It's right there for that next one. But I don't... But I don't want to go after that right just yet. Okay. That's not our mark. Good. I don't think. But it does make it easier on me now that we have an increased, I think these are the three that I've primarily been using, but that's only been, recent to be my knowledge. Like, I don't make the importance of pick whoever you want to pick, but make sure that you're at least your party, that you have at least a sentinel, a saboteur, having at least one of, if not, I'm gonna use you for right now. Right now, I need to heal.
Follow my lead.
Like this game just doesn't, is not the best, to be honest. Like this should, like the ending, I see why. I see now why. If this wasn't open world at the end, I probably would have a little bit higher praise for it. But I just don't. Because I missed the mark on a lot of the gameplay to begin with. Nobody's gonna die, because that's a good thing. But I am gonna try, we're gonna try and clear out some of these creatures. For some farming a little bit, for some good things. Now I don't know where the farming places are. Completely, I even forgot where this guy told me they were. But to be honest, as long as we're getting the CP, as long as we're getting the things that we need, we're good to go. You guys are easy to destroy. Maybe after 8, maybe after 17, we'll get to where I need to be. We're gonna get preemptive strike. Yep, and you are right there with staggered. Just want to make sure I get another one staggered so that we can get this done a little bit quicker. Too easy. definitely too easy.
As if there was any doubt.
No, I know where the thing's at, but I wanted to... want to clear out some of these things so that we can get somewhere. Because I don't want to be, like, caught.
Don't get predictable.
No, it goes a lot faster if we just have Saz be that. There. I got a couple of some goodies. Another cactuar. It's gonna run away from me. But it always seems to be faster. To be honest, my favorite cactuar was the one in Final Fantasy VIII, though. So far, I haven't seen any other cactuars in any other games outside of probably this one and maybe 12. It's been a while since I've even remembered 12 to begin with. If it has it in it.
Don't want to lose, do ya?
Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah, I found out that the cactuars give me a lot, so just on its own. They don't seem to do a lot of damage. Okay. You know what? Actually, let's go this way. I'm playing for about a half an hour. Went and bought a strength increase for 100 strength, which this is the only character I use pretty much for it, so it's like, why not? I'd only maybe buy another one just because, but I don't think it's worth it right now.
Nice, sunshine. Thanks.
And it's not going to give me a lot down here, but to begin with, if these are easy to quickly take out, it's easy to farm for it.
Thanks. Thanks. Hardly worth the effort.
Hardly. Let's go to Crystariums. Let's go and up. Let's go and. Oh, come on. Synergist, 50-70 HP, get some more strength. On my final 3 heroes, I'm sticking with what I've got, but I haven't gotten to the point of haven't fully decided who I'm gonna pick right now. Oh, you're gonna get counter too. Nice. But I think I'm sticking with Fang, Lightning, and Saws to begin with. But I haven't fully made that decision yet. An increased ATB level. Okay, so we're getting close to you getting another roll level for the Synergist. Medic has not been even touched yet. To be honest, I've just been going down the list now. So that's what's been going on. But the other thing I would probably do is, the Brawler's Wristbands gives me a strength of 57. I might end up selling the Brawler's Wristband off. And absolutely changing out that for a for the 100 one. Because it's like I finally realized that I shouldn't need to upgrade a lot of those, don't need to really upgrade the those extra strength ones. You can just wait and save up on a lot of your stuff.
Hardly worth the effort.
That's what it seems to me anyway. But I might go through a little bit more than what's recommended for quests. Mostly I'm just trying to make sure that everybody gets at least to level 4 on their main account stuff, and then maybe we work on their extras. But I'm not 100% sure I want to do that yet. Because those take a lot longer time than the rest. Okay, you're not gonna let me do it this way, so I'll just go around you. No, I did upgrade my gear. I have upgraded at least one. I haven't gotten any upgrades to the shops yet, since for a while, but I just haven't upgraded a lot of my gear because I've always been able to find them. But since I really am only using these three right here, there's no point. I'm not using Crystarium's equipment. There is really no point. Like the golden bangle, like I think there's one better, maybe. Like the Myrtle bangle is better. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch you. No, I'm going to switch you out. I'm going to go to the... No, it's not the golden bangle. I don't remember where it was at. The Myrtle. And then I'll put you... with the golden bangle. Actually, to be honest, wasting materials, yeah, without a guide, yeah, you're gonna waste materials, but to be honest, most people who are gonna jump in and play this for the first time without using a guide is gonna inevitably do that. But back down here, I don't, like, yeah, like, wasting a lot of materials, it is one thing that I didn't even realize until I started realizing that a little bit later on. I still ended up upgrading a little bit, just at the time, because I felt like it was, a thing, but you don't need to waste so much. And to begin with, sell those transforming catalysts. Most of the time, like, I don't even think they're even worth it right now. They're mostly just you sell them and then you're good to go. To begin with. Like, I would only upgrade them maybe once, if you feel like it. But I wouldn't upgrade any further. Mostly your weapons are the ones that you want to spend more time with it than upgrading anything else.
Thanks.
I feel. Because your items, you're going to be able to get them later. This is about the time where you probably might want to get the last one and upgrade that. But I just coming through this myself, this is the second time I've gone through this game. But first time getting to the end part of this. Because, to be honest, I have this originally on the Xbox 360 and the PS3 as well. Never touched the PS3 version because, to be honest, the PS3 is sitting out in the living room, and that one's mainly our Blu-ray player. But so yeah, that's kind of where I'm realizing this a little bit more, is that, you know, upgrading at least maybe once on those things might be useful early, but to be honest, I would more spend it on weapons than I would spend it on other things, unless you are struggling or you are stuck. And if you are, that's probably about the time you probably should pick up a guide, if you can't get past it and you've been sitting there for days to begin with.
Could have been worse.
Is what I have been doing. I haven't used a guide necessarily for a lot of these games, but only when I got stuck, and that's the only time I've ever used this for it. So like, if I'm stuck on a boss and I'm like, I'm not for sure what I'm supposed to do, I went and looked up these rare materials. Why can't I use this? Why can't I spend things up. It's like, nope. Okay, I went and looked it up and I was like, okay, nope, not gonna spend on those. I'll just sell them off because it's not worth it. I think there's like only maybe a couple of times where it might be useful for you, but yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, upping your damage as much as you can is the thing. So mostly upgrading your weapons is going to be the best, but then again, if you start realizing that you're seeing weapons, then you might want to start figuring out and changing your weapon, figuring out how to actually run it. But maybe at the end I will probably maybe just say some things before you go in and start, just for knowledge,
Thanks.
without spoilers. Because, to be honest, I don't want to spoil, like, there's enough people out there who are playing the game already who has spoilers to begin with, but it's like, I was already spoiled, like, the only game I've actually been spoiled with the ending was Final Fantasy VII. And that was only because it's like, whatever, I don't care, I'm not like somebody that's a big thing. Like, if I know about a spoiler, I don't care. I'm not gonna like, God, it's just gonna make me want to play that game a little bit more to see how we get from point A to from the beginning to the end. And I did forget that I did beat Final Fantasy VII too. I've completely forgot about that. That was actually one that I actually did finally beat after all these years. Yes, and that's what made me realize that, like, no, the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, after playing the original, I feel like the original is still better than the remakes for it. But as soon as I've made this thing that as soon as I'm done with this one, I'm switching over to 13-2. Trying to debate whether I should play that on here on PC, whether I should pick up the Xbox 360 version, because I have both. Well, to be honest, I have actually every major Final Fantasy on actually don't have every major. I have every major Final Fantasy, but I do not have every major Final Fantasy on PC though. I do not have the pixel remastered stuff. They're on my list because I've kind of like realized, you know what? They're just releasing them on PC. I want to get them on PC. No, I don't. I've never used a book this day and age. To be honest, the only guide that I really have is on paper is the Final Fantasy VIII guide to finding where the GFs are. Because in that game, if you just naturally just play the game, gonna progress through it just like you normally would, you're going to have a harder time with that game. If you just follow it like, you don't follow a guide, you just do whatever, you're gonna have a harder time in 8 because of that mission, because of the leveling in that game. The monsters scale with you, and at the end of the game, if you're not prepared with having all the GFs before you get to the end, then you're going to be royally screwed up.
As if there was any doubt.
And how do I know this? Because I went and played through the game on the PS1 way back in the day, when I first actually owned the game itself, and basically since then, Final Fantasy Final Fantasy VIII was like, years later I beat it on the PSP with a guide to finding out where all the GFs are, and it was a lot easier to beat that way. Having all the GFs before you go to the end is a better idea, and that's pretty much basically a good idea. Don't wait and get to the end of the game, the castle. Yes, I'm spoiling. If you haven't seen the game by now, you probably are dumb. Yeah, the twist, and that one you gotta really think about saving your materials. In 8, you gotta really think about saving your magic. But that one is kind of like, yeah, saving your magic is a good thing, but at the same time, it's like yeah, you gotta strategize a lot of times. A lot of these games do require some strategy. But mostly, I actually completed the first one without having to worry about keeping my magic. Without it, like, you can do it. It's one of those things that it's not going to be challenging for it. And I believe if you play the Final Fantasy VIII Remastered, I also believe that if you turn on turn off the encounters, it makes the game a lot easier. Because it's about, the enemies are going to be there when you are for levels based on your character,
Hardly worth the effort.
and they scale up with you. So trying to defeat a low-level HP in Balam Gardens, and then going around and trying to, you know, but then you go back and you try to do it again later down the line, and you're at like level 50. They're going to give you higher magic, but they're going to be easy to kill but they scale with you. So it's like, and to be honest, the 8 had the best side game out of all the Final Fantasies of the PS1 era, because it absolutely made much more sense, and it actually gave you purpose for it. Like collecting all the cards and then doing it. To be honest, like, if you love that part of that game, you can go download the Triple Triad game on your mobile phone, and you can play it that way and have fun and play it with other people's online. I believe I even played at least some Triple Triad before on a web browser. I play it that way too. So it's like that to me is just what really makes 8 compared to 9. Because 9, you there's no point in you playing cards in 9 unless there is really no point in playing cards. Like, you wouldn't spend your time playing cards, and then when you get to the point where you have to play cards and you can't win because you need all these, and you're screwed. You're pretty much screwed on that front. Yeah, no, resetting a few times, yes, you're gonna probably have to do that sometimes. But to be honest, if you sat there and you got all the way to the end castle, to the end of the end in 8, then you might be able to. You're gonna have to be sitting there grinding a lot to even get your GFs up to where they need to be so that you can fight. But then by that point, the end boss is gonna get even stronger for you. So it's like the more you level up, the stronger the end game becomes for that one. But I think if they hadn't made a little bit different in the way of changing just the way that you get your draw. I think it would be like if you had drawn to, for me, like if you draw to see what the what magic this character contains and being able to just keep it, I think that would have been better. But then again, it would make no much more sense than with the junction system. That just makes the thing why you have to keep your magic, because your magic needs to do that. But it's a little bit easier once you kind of understand the system, but it still makes it a challenge. Like I don't even think you need to collect like flare. There are a lot. Yeah, it's just really complicated system. I can't even. But then again, when you look at the complicated system of Final Fantasy XII, of Final Fantasy VIII, then you go into the easiest Final Fantasy game ever made is Final Fantasy XII. If you're like, I will literally say that if you go and you play Final Fantasy XII for the very first time, you're gonna have an easy time playing that game because of the way that the game is set up in a pure sense of how licensing works in that game. Like, you can create any character you want. Most people, like, if you played original, the PS2, before the international job system ever came out. I've never played the international job system. I might pick that one up and play it through emulation just because it was never released here in America, so it wouldn't be any problem. But if it had released here in America, I think I would have been much more keen into enjoying that game. And made it a little bit more challenging. They introduced classes in it, so 12 kind of really picked it up. And I went to play both, and it's still relatively an easy game to play. So yeah, that the Gambit system in 12 is just one of those things that it absolutely was the easiest thing in the entirety of the game of the Gambit system. The entire just the core game of 12 made it so much easier to play for a lot of people. And like coming in from if you're somebody that's been playing Final Fantasy for years, okay, I've played pretty much every Final Fantasy except for 2. I mean 3 actually. Gone through and at least started to try to play through them all. To be honest, if you're 12 just really is the easiest system. But when you're going from 12 to 13 and you think that 12 is like 13 is supposed to be like 12, it's a whole new ball game. Truly. Absolutely absolutely one of those things that really changes the way that you play. Like 12, if you're like an MMO fan, you'll like 12 to begin with, because it is literally like an MMO. Literally. And literally, when I mean literally like an MMO, it literally acts like an MMO except with a few slightly differences. It's geared towards single player, but it does have that like 11 feel kind of thing. I've never played, actually I should say I never played 11 either, but it has that feel of like 14 and 11 to really make your game much more for it. But the only other game I know that before mainline, I think 15 is the other one. I forgot about 15. That's the only other one I have not played. But I have not actually sat down on mainline. If we're talking non-mainline, then yeah, there's plenty of Final Fantasy titles I haven't played. Like Final Fantasy Type 0. I think I even started it. I think I even streamed it once here. And I just never really went through it. I don't even think I've played any of the, actually, I did play the Final Fantasy XII Zodiac. The Final Fantasy XII Reverend Wings on the DS, though. I did play that one.
Good night, sunshine.
That one's really, really weird with that one. Like, that does not, like, feel like a Final Fantasy title. But at the same time, it's totally... It's totally like, more of like a strategy game. A little bit. Than anything else. So I've, to begin with, and one game I will never finish. Will never finish is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I'll probably never finish Final Fantasy XVI because I'm not like a huge fan of that. After playing the original 7, after playing that like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, like it's kind of like this. Openness where you got this kind of like open part right here, but that's it, and then it goes through semi-open. It's not really open like the MMOs or things like that. Yeah, I have, to be honest, actually, before I continue on, to begin with, hold on. To begin with, this is all of my Final Fantasy titles for the PS4 and 5. To begin with, every single one of them. And I have played every single one of the Final Fantasy, except for 5, from there. I mean 15, sorry. Physical. Like, I actually do care about physical games as much as I can. But I'm also, like, trying to show people the thing of that you can play these games through different means, and finding ways that physical media does not mean that like having choice is a good idea, and PlayStation kind of ending the physical thing is not gonna be really enticing me to go back to PlayStation. And to begin with, And to begin with, like, those are the titles that I will probably, probably most likely pick up the Final Fantasy games through, I'm not gonna go fight you. I want to fight this Cactuar. Come back here. Ugh. Really difficult. Sometimes a little bit difficult to catch this dude. But I do find my physical more. So I literally try to buy where physical is important to me. Where the game is on the disc in most on it compared to not being on the disc. Like that's kind of why, like, I do have 13 on the disc of the Xbox 360. But I just where the first time it actually came out from PlayStation's hands for a while and came to Xbox. And that's where I feel like that us being able to have the choice of playing where we want to play and how we want to play is a good thing. I don't like when companies say, oh, we're taking physical away because a lot of people are spending digitally. A lot of people are spending digitally. Like, if I would spend digitally, I want to spend digitally on $60 games. I'd spend $60 on a video game on digitally, rather than physically. I don't, like, I can understand certain things for online stuff, to begin with. Like, I understand certain aspects. Like, I do agree with some indie developers, in this front as well. Like, I think we should be able to, like, if they're gonna be a big huge title, Sony's gonna push for it. And you're gonna start putting games all on not having physical, and you'll own nothing. To begin with, if I own nothing, then how about I just go start pirating this stuff because you're saying that I don't own anything and you decide to take it away. Then by that logic, if I don't own the game, then you shouldn't be going after us for pirating this stuff. So, and they're doing this thing with physical Xbox 360 stuff going to Windows. It's like, I will never touch a Windows system again, so why would I want to even sign up for this service anyway? But physical media it's the reason why, if you actually really think about it, the development that it takes to make a video game, yeah, it takes time. I will say this, and I know because as a developer, it does take time. It does take time when you have a lot of intricate trying to make 100-hour games, but and selling it for mostly $80, but a lot of people just tend to go back to playing free-to-play Fortnite or Call of Duty, or just go back to their own old games. A lot of these developers, when they sell DLC to these games, they make the money that way. That's how Sony basically said that's how they get their money. Well, you're getting their money. Well, to be honest, like I still sign up for the premium edition of a PlayStation. I probably won't be for that long anyways with this.
Thanks.
With it, I might drop down to the $80 version of it, because to be really frank, you don't need to be spending $106 on PlayStation Plus. If you are sitting there, it'll show them that you don't but then again, at the same time, they will cancel, not give you those games anyways anymore. It's really this thing that when you go look at the blackout, I won't be doing the blackout, because it's not like for a whole week I will be out of Call of Duty, but you know what? Hold on, guys. I need to do one more thing. I keep forgetting to put my glasses on. Might be easier for me to read if I have my glasses on, to really yeah, and I don't know, I will make this.
Appreciate it.
I'll make this important to a lot of you. One of my all-time favorite games that I wanted to come back. I wanted to go play it again because I really liked the game, and it was EA. Had released a Need for Speed game, online Need for Speed game. It's literally just called Need for Speed. And you could play with other people online. I think it was like even free to play, if I'm not mistaken. It's no longer available. You can no longer play it. You know. But to some things, I can understand closing down some of it, because of licensing with like other manufacturers, like cars. You know, that if you have like a car license for a game and you have running out on that, then yeah, you know, I can understand that. But when it comes to
Quit wasting my time.
or a game like Rock Band or Guitar Hero, I can understand those things because they can't get an unlimited license, and those are the things where, okay, I understand why some games have to shut down for that reason. But games that are just blatantly shutting down, that shut down because the game because the game has no other real tangible licenses to it, then why shut it down? You know? To be honest, one of the biggest things right now that is available to anybody is Call of Duty. To be more precise, Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and 2. A old game that we can still play to this day. If you have an Xbox 360 version of the game, you can still play the game. Okay. But when it comes to
You're gonna love it.
getting it to play on like modern systems, a lot of people are going back and playing them on the PS4 and PS5, and they are becoming a superior version to those a little bit.
Don't want to lose, do ya?
Let's use it again, because why not? And But what's gonna happen when when people are not wanting to play it anymore, and people are just moving on, and then they decide that, oh, we're not going to keep the servers going. It's they even called making your own server a problem.
Time for a check.
I know, I need to switch sooner, but I'm really not caring too much about how I do this. That's why I will prefer like GOG. Like, I haven't bought from GOG because mostly I've been buying from Steam. And I have a lot of Steam games that I haven't even touched yet. There's even a lot of Xbox 360 stuff I haven't touched either. So there's a lot of back catalog, even PS2 stuff. That, you know, we can still have physical games out there. If you don't want to support it, you can always go out and buy it, and even I'll kudos to Atari for this. I was seeing an ad for the Atari, like the 2600 and 7800, where it's a modern system that it's Atari themselves, that works with with newer cartridges, but it also not only works with newer cartridges, but it also is backwards compatible with older cartridges too. And I'm like, good, that's how it should be. Should be, and that's how we should be able to, like, have the cartridges be able to be used. Like, to be honest, to be clear, I've never played an Atari 2600 or played any Atari systems to begin with. I grew up way beyond the release of those systems. I grew up when the PS1 was out. Literally, the PS1 was literally out the year, I think it was the year before or the year that I was born. So, it's literally... good old games. Go look up GOG.com. It is literally a place where they
Thanks.
spend a lot of their time to make games DRM free. You can put them on a disc and be able to install it off that disc. Oh, well, but not in the sense that you have to do it yourself. You can't. They won't do it for you. But they are out there willing to prevent people from, like as long as you have the files, you are able to basically continue to play that game. I even support that way, but no. pathetic.
Wanna lose, do ya? Appreciate it. Let's keep things up.
I haven't used. I want to try to see if I can get. Okay, you're not getting what I need. Not getting cursed. Okay. Because normally you can get cursed. So they're the ones that, and also they've done a lot of projects where older games they bring them to modern systems, allowing you to play through modern capabilities. But also, if you happen to using Windows 11, and one of the things that I do absolutely love about Linux, is I was going to do my mission today, but I am just no. Yeah, I don't care.
Don't get predictable.
It'll size a little bit. Is like games that you would think would not, like you have in your library. If you, I don't know if any of you remember the old game called Spec Ops: The Line. I literally have that game still in my library because I was like, I want this game. I love this game. I was absolutely in the Spec Ops kind of mood. Can no longer play. Apparently, you can no longer play it on Windows. They've literally ended the service for Windows, but on Linux, you can still play the game on Linux. So it's like, a lot of times, like, you might not think you'd be able to run a game. You might wanna
Time for a change.
You might want to think about hopping in and trying Linux too. Don't. But it's like, I wouldn't recommend it if you are somebody out there that you know, is playing like games like Fortnite, Call of Duty, things like that. If most of the games will run on Linux, most of them, not all of them, because of anti-cheat. Once we can figure out the anti-cheat, figuring out that, then we can literally be able to do a lot of Linux, more Linux gaming, and it would be nice. I will tell you, if you you have an option, but it's not recommended. Like, do not go and buy GeForce Now stuff. Like, help learn so that we can get more eyes on Linux, that we can get more games to be played on Linux. It's not a lot of percentage, but if you are somebody who
Should see your daddy now.
has a Valve, and if you are just not quite for sure and you want to make sure that you have support, then there is a few places where you can get support for these games. You have SteamOS. It's literally a Steam built operating system for you that allows for support from Valve, because Valve is the one doing it. And the other one that you can really spend your time doing, not just through Valve, but through Bazzite's another great distro, of course, the one I use. But I'm not telling you to go and install Linux just to install Linux. Give it a shot if you are somebody that wants to try it. You know, if you are building a new computer for Windows, and you have a current computer lying around, build your computer for Linux for Windows, but then change that operating system that you have on your old system. After you, of course, you back up everything, change it to Linux, and see how you like it that way. And if you love it, then you can probably just switch it over. But don't. It's like I'm sitting here on Linux playing Final Fantasy XIII. A game that back then would have not probably worked on Linux to begin with. That, you know, and it's, to be honest, productivity, if you're an Adobe user, yeah, you're not going to have time with Linux, but there's alternatives. You can find alternatives. I use Shotcut, I use GIMP. Yes, GIMP. I only use GIMP for when I make things. I haven't had to make a new thumbnail for YouTube for a while, because right now we're still in chapter 11 and we're still just doing side quests, so I haven't really changed it, and I'm still utilizing the same pair that I've been utilizing for most of this anyway. I am absolutely working on the 17, but I am right now just going through a little bit of some other places to fight for a little bit. But I don't got a lot of time left though. So I might go do this mission 17. I don't think I really want to have him be using Commando though.
Thanks. You kidding me?
Are you talking about, are you talking about going beyond this save point right here, going that way? Because I already completed that, and I'm on this checkpoint right here now. I am going through at least trying to clear out a lot of my missions like that. Oops, this way. And it wasn't like a 60-minute battle. I completed it earlier today. It was the first thing I completed. And I'm probably gonna do up to 32. Maybe. We'll see how far I go. No, I'm gonna save that Libra scope for when I need to absolutely use it. Susceptible to deprotect, deshell, imperil, and slow.
Follow my lead.
Let's do that then.
Eat this.
Yeah, I did that one already. I think I did that one yesterday. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna go back to... I feel like this one would be better if I used all triple commandos. Yeah, it was a lot easier just using commando. Perfect conductor. Nice. Okay. I'm going to see where the next I was going to check to see where the next mission is, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. Let's go save this because it is 6 o'clock. 3 minutes after 6. I do need to go make some supper. But actually, I think what we can do is I'll spend the Crystariums now. Spend our point. Haven't had Kyria, which would probably help me out a lot right about now. Reprieve will be good. Cursa, which I believe Cursa is pretty much basically everybody gets cured. Yeah, I was pushing towards that. Thank you very much. I'm gonna save it. We're gonna get off. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow. We actually might not be back tomorrow for Final Fantasy XIII. Might not. If I am, it is because it is because I chose to, or because my mom does not have class tomorrow. But tomorrow afternoon, if my mom has class, then I will probably pick some Yarg or some Rock Band 4, and then I will probably take a break, go get something to go make supper. Then I'll probably be back on early tomorrow night playing Fortnite Festival tomorrow night. So if you want to see that content, be followed on the Twitch side of things. But if you're here on YouTube, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure I set that bell notification so you can stay up to date, because I will be back again on for 13, probably most likely again on Friday for sure. And then Tonight, for tonight's stream, we'll be doing some Fortnite. We'll probably doing some Battle Royale or whatever we feel like. Or that. So, if you guys are interested in, we always play Final Fantasy XIII. We always play, a lot of single player in the afternoon, a lot of multiplayer in the evening. We do talk not only video games, but we talk video game news, we talk politics, we talk, well, pretty much basically both of those sides of things. So if you're into that as well, then also you can come watch my Euro Truck simulator where I do drive. It's one of those things that gets me the enchant that I love that game, but it also gives me that opportunity to talk about things. I could have easily could have started that game up today and played that for a while. But anyway. Yeah, I am 2 hours, for those of you, that everything that I do is, 3 a.m. I mean, everything that I do is pretty much in Central's time. But for some of you, you might be watching this and you're probably like, probably asleep, probably overnight for some of you. Because I do know how things work over there in the UK. Because I do listen to a radio station occasionally from over there. Trans Radio UK. And then I know in Japan you're probably just getting up, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you're probably just getting up, or you're probably heading to work. But anyway, we will see you guys later. Make sure you guys are subscribed, because if you, and not only if you subscribe on the YouTube side of things, make sure that you are subscribed on channels that you do watch, that you do enjoy watching, because if you don't, you're not going to get notified when you do go, when I do go live, or when things do happen, because you'll miss out on a lot of things. And make sure you double check all of your users, your subscriptions, that you are hitting that bell notification with the all, because if you don't, you're not going to get to see a lot of that content. You may not get to see everything, but you'll get to see a majority of that content come through. Sometimes if you do not go and watch these content creators do their notifications and things, you might not get the notification sometimes either. So anyway, we will catch you guys later.